think you're doing?
Taking my medicine.
Shouldn't we at least discuss it first?
There is no discussion. I have to be the one. Chasing down this cure has been my life's work.
Right. And if something goes wrong, we're going to need your brain to fix it.
Captain Rhodes is right, Doctor. If you die, no one here would be able to carry on your work.
It's got to be me.
Liv, are you sure you want to do this?
Not really, no. But if I don't, I'm dead for sure, so...
Is there no other way to assess the risk?
None that are available to us. I concede this is not the most scientific of methods, but it is the most expedient.
There has to be something we can...
Jack, it's okay. This is the right call.
Juno, retract the emitter array.
Tell me how this is going to work?
We expose the biomass in your system to a low-level energy pulse of a very specific wavelength. Absorbing this energy will effectively terminate the biomass's metabolic processes, causing it to wither and die.
Think of it like a self-destruct command embedded in the biomass's base DNA.
Whoever designed it knew what they were creating and wanted a way to stop it if it ever got out of control.
Is this going to hurt?
If I said yes, would it change your mind?
Okay. Let's do it.
I want to take a moment to triple check the math before we begin.
Whatever you have to do.
I'll let you know when we are ready. Juno?
Yes, of course.
Jack? Give me your hand. It's okay to be scared.
You forget. I'm incapable of being scared.
Could have fooled me. Jack, look at me. This is going to work. Oh God, now don't you start. Go on. It'll be all right.
Captain Rhodes? We're ready if you are.
I'm good. Let's go.
Confirmed. Initiating counterpulse emission now.
Oh,
Liv,
it's all right. I'm okay.
Vital signs are stable. Metabolic pathways in the infected cells are failing.
It's working.
Oh,
Cellular saturation in 10 seconds.
are you sure you're all right?
yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
That's it. Shut it down.
Liv, are you all right?
I'll say one thing. I'm never going to complain about those fabricators again. Well, what's the story? Did it work?
Go ahead. Tell her.
I take it that's good news.
You're clear, Captain Rhodes. No sign of infection.
Oh my God.
All traces of the biomass forms have been neutralized.
Apollo, is it acceptable to celebrate now?
It certainly appears so, yes.
Harlan, thank you.
Yes. Well, good then. So long as we are just floating here, do you mind if we keep walking? Now that we know the counterpass works, we should start working on better ways to administer it.
Harlan?
We'll need both focused and wide dispersion methods.
Dr. Harlan.
Let's draw up some schematics and feed them to the fabricators.
I already have a number of ideas that I think could
Dr.
serve.
Harlan.
What?
The treatment, Harlan? You still have to undergo the procedure.
Right. Yes, of course.
Juno, can you prep the bed for another dispersion?
It's already done.
Very well.
Would you like Jack to hold your hand as well?
Start the procedure.
Very well. Stand by.
Harlan, are you alright? Juno.
Vitals nominal. Blood pressure slightly elevated, but still within acceptable limits. Heart rate 103 and rising.
Harlan?
Keep going.
Blood pressure spiking.
10 seconds to cellular saturation.
Something's wrong.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Shutdown.
Vital stabilizing.
Well, I've had worse experiences. Though at the moment I can't really think of any.
Harlan?
What?
Captain Rhodes?
What is it? What's wrong?
It didn't work. The biomass survived the treatment.
Harlan.
Juno, get me out of here.
I'll reset the biobed. We can try again.
No,
Perhaps the metrics were somehow altered between the two tests.
Juno.
Or maybe some cases simply require more than one cycle before clearing.
Juno, stop.
This isn't right. The treatment should have cleared both of us.
Apollo,
Yes, Doctor?
the biomass sample we were testing earlier, where was it from?
That particular sample was extracted from the wreckage of the Estrella.
So it was the more primitive strain.
That is correct.
I need a specimen from this time period. Something off the station.
I believe there is a sample from the research facility already seated in the cradle.
Rotate the sample into position.
Affirmative.
Alright, run the test again. Same parameters as before.
Understood. Ready to execute.
Do it.
It's working. The sample is withering.
Wait.
Treatment. Ineffective.
Yeah, you don't say.
The biomass from this time period must have developed some form of inherent resistance to the treatment.
That would be my conclusion as well. The treatment eliminates the biomass from the past, but any form from this time period, it will only paralyze. Though at the moment, I can only speculate as to why this might be the case.
It's because it evolved. The biomass in the Estrella is still developing, still vulnerable. But the strain from this time period has been running rampant for 4 centuries. Nora was right. There really is no stopping it.
The biomass really evolves that quickly.
That's practically its defining characteristic.
Well, that and its tendency to indiscriminately devour everything it touches.
So that's it. We failed.
No. No. We didn't fail.
Harlan?
Does he want us to follow him?
I have no idea. I'm going to. Harlan?
We didn't fail. We just learned something new. We learned there's a window, a certain point in time wherein the biomass was still vulnerable, when it could be stopped.
Yeah, that point's long past.
You're right. If only we had some way to travel back in time.
Transmitting Jack's protocols back in time won't help us here, Doctor.
It's also impossible without a working FTL.
For that plan to work, Jack would have to physically bring a counterpulse device back with him. Something he can't do digitally.
I'm not talking about digital time travel.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Where have I seen this before?
I believe that is one of the Estrella's FTL drives. I recall seeing a number of them while retrieving the fuel cell from the wreckage.
What do you think, Apollo? Could it work?
I'll need to run some models, but it's possible.
What the hell are you two on about?
I'll explain everything once Jack and I are on our way to the Estrella.
We'd best get moving.
Hold on! No one's going anywhere until one of you gives me something resembling an explanation.
Captain Rhodes.
No, if you want to send Jack back out to that plague-infested garbage scow, you have to at least give a reason.
And we will. But the longer we wait, the less chance we have to succeed. Captain, I know I already asked far too much of you both, but I have taken this as far as it can go. I need your help to finish it.
What do you need us to do?
Jack, you and I will make our way back to the Estrella's drive bay. You'll need my assistance to unlock the FTL housing. Captain Rhodes, if you would remain here with Dr. Harlan, there's some specialized equipment you'll need to fabricate and assemble.
Oh, brilliant.
Opening airlock.
Jack. Good luck. Let us know when you've reached the Estrella.
Copy that.
Airlock cycling. Stand by.
Watch yourself over there, Jack. Don't let those tips give you too much hassle.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. It's just like reminding you to be careful. So, be careful. And before you ask, yes. That's an order.
Exiting portside airlock.
We need to make our way back to the Estrella, to the auxiliary drive bay.
All right, Apollo, you're on your way. I'm waiting for my explanation.
We all agree simply transmitting Jack's consciousness into the past won't work this time. However, if we were to appropriate one of the Estrella's remaining FTL drives, the Doctor and I believe we may be able to use it to return both you and Jack to the 22nd century.
You're saying we might be able to go home?
I'm reticent to make any assurances, but yes, I believe it is possible, assuming at least one of the drives is still operational.
I thought you said we couldn't access the drives because of all the biomass.
That was before we had the counterpulse.
Well, that's great, but do you have some way for Jack to administer it?
Jack, make your way to the nearest fabricator. I have a new modification for your shell.
Understood.
The fabricator is just to the left of the bridge entrance.
Integration successful. Your new counterpulse device is ready to be equipped.
I recommend we run a field test before proceeding further. Those ticks feeding on the substation should make for suitable targets. Field test successful.
It's a weapon?
A focused counterpulse emitter, based on a design from my own timeline and calibrated to the same wavelength as the treatment we administered via the medical pod.
Kill guns. Nice.
Understand, this device will only eliminate the older, more primitive biomass. The more evolved forms from this time period will just be temporarily incapacitated.
Regardless, it should make short work of the biomass surrounding the Astraea's FTL drives. It's possible with more research data we could refine the treatment wavelength even further, making the device that much more efficient.
Which would allow the emitter to discharge more shots before overheating.
Certainly fixed you right up, didn't we?
We're ready to proceed to the drive bay. In the meantime, Captain Rhodes, I will need you to assemble a custom gantry to secure the FTL once it's in our possession. I've already fed the necessary specifications to the fabricators.
Good. I'm in the mood for a bit of work.
Moving out into the debris field now.
Just get that FTL and get back here quick as you can. No sense spending any more time over there than you need to.
Agreed.
Alright, let's assume this works. Let's say you two track down the working FTL. We get it hooked up and Apollo manages to recreate a physical time jump that, by some miracle, sends us back home to our own time. How exactly are we supposed to eliminate all the biomass once we're there? I mean, it's not like we can just set off a bomb and blow it all to smithereens. That's exactly what you're planning to do, isn't it?
Well, not a bomb so much as a device that will unleash a sudden and forcible burst of energy across a widespread area.
So, a bomb.
Yes, a bomb. But one that emits a counterpulse that should only be harmful to the biomass.
Brilliant.
I am a tactical AI. Most of my solutions tend to involve some form of explosion.
Uh-huh.
How will we make this device?
I mean, I could do it, but my hands are a bit tied at the moment.
I can easily repurpose existing equipment to construct a counterpulse dispersion catalyst.
Cure bomb.
Very well. Cure bomb. We will also need a means of transport, ideally one that can regulate the catalyst's energy signature.
The cargo drones should be more than capable of assembling the materials we need.
Excellent. I will transmit the details.
Wait a second. How is Jack's reboot ability supposed to work in the past without the fabricator network?
My design for our makeshift transport includes a single fabricator to accommodate Jack's reboot for the duration of our mission. Once we've detonated the catalyst and are out of danger, we can address reintegrating Jack's protocols into an Atlas network.
Assuming all this goes to plan.
Well, yes. It would be rather difficult to operate on the opposite assumption.
Shields at 30%.
Jack, we should proceed to the drive bay. The success of our mission depends on locating a viable FTL.
Shields at 95%.
I've reached the drive bay.
How's it looking now?
Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
More or less how we expected.
That bad, is it?
Jack, the removal process will require access to several mechanisms throughout the drive bay. Any live ticks in the area will undoubtedly make our job that much more difficult.
Understood. I'll clear them out.
Our aim is to locate a viable FTL drive. We need one that is suitably infected with biomass, but not to the extent that it is overrun.
The Goldilocks FTL.
An accurate, if somewhat antiquated metaphor. Once we find a suitable drive, we'll need to remove it from its housing and extract it via the corresponding service port. The removal process is no easy task, but I can walk you through the procedure.
Shields at 95%.
All clear, Apollo.
Acknowledged. Now then, we should start by identifying any FTLs that are still extractable. Look for drives whose locking pins are largely clear of biomass at the upper and lower extremities.
Understood. I'll see if there's a drive that's clear enough to move.
Anyone able to cross their fingers, do it now.
The internal components are infested with biomass. It must have found its way in through the room's infrastructure.
This is an encouraging sign.
Is it?
The FTL that caused the Estrella's original jump back in time was similarly infected. This may be the drive we're looking for.
Some biomass is present, but not enough to impede the locking pins. Now to inspect the opposite end.
We'll need to inspect the drive's locking pins to determine if one is suitable for extraction.
The locking pins on this end also appear to be free of any obstruction.
Confirmed. Cursory inspection verified. Internal biomass growth is also suitable for our needs.
Is that our winner?
It certainly appears so.
So we're good to go.
Nearly. The FTL will first need to be primed, which requires filling the drive with an ionized fluid and stimulating a hybrid voltaic reaction.
Is that as dodgy as it sounds?
Priming the drive is a fairly standard procedure. Moving a drive after it's been primed is most certainly not.
How do we start the procedure?
The drive controls are offline. You'll need to initiate the process manually. Look for an access panel on the side of the FTL drive.
This terminal controls the drive?
Yes. Eventually, the terminal will allow you to move the drive along its service channel. For now, however, there is still the matter of priming the drive.
Access panel located.
You'll have to cut your way in. Pull the lever inside and the drive will begin priming. Once the injection process is complete, I will funnel all remaining power in the drive bay to the FTL.
Drive priming initiated.
Injection complete. I will now attempt to create a sustained reaction by applying any remaining power. Stand by. Sustained reaction achieved. We're ready to remove the drive.
Outstanding.
What's next, Apollo?
The FTL drive is held in place by locking mechanisms at its upper and lower extremities. They must be manually released before the drive can be removed.
Got it. I'll release the locks.
The release mechanisms are housed within the drive moorings at both the top and bottom of the chamber. You'll need to cut your way in.
Understood. I've gained access to the drive locking mechanisms.
The release control is located on the drive itself, between the locking pins.
Bottom locking mechanism released.
Good. Once you release the upper lock, the drive should come free.
Drive unlocked.
Excellent. I've repowered a nearby control panel so you can complete the removal procedure. The controls will allow you to position the drive so it can be easily removed via cargo drone.
Moving FTL into position.
Steady on there, Jack. That's all right now.
Once the drive reaches the outer wall, you can open the... Jack, be advised. Ticks inbound.
Stand by. I'll leave.
They must have been drawn out by the drive's substantial energy signature.
Tick threat neutralized. Resuming removal process at the control terminal.
Once the drive reaches the outer wall, you can open the surface port to make the drive available for retrieval.
The drive is in position. How do I open the service port?
Multi-operator release controls on either side of the hatch.
Removal process complete. The FTL drive is ready to be extracted.
Good work, Jack. Drones are on their way.
Copy that.
Ready to depart with the cargo in T-10 seconds. If you plan to accompany the drive, I suggest you take hold now. Departing in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters engaged.